Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering the thing you worship most has been quietly chiseling bars around your life. Flash cut. A sweaty gym selfie uploaded for a hit of validation. Thumb flicking through dating profiles like slot machine cherries. Midnight raids in a gaming chair lit only by RGB. A fistful of caramel corn washed down with blue light glow. Each scene drips dopamine, a sweet chemical receipt stamped "paid in freedom." Huxley warned that the future wouldn't chain us with whips. It would hand us toys and let us tighten the cuffs ourselves. So pause. When the screen pings, are you the rider commanding the steed or the horse broken to follow every nudge? If your pulse just twitched, good. That's the alarm clock buried inside the comfort. Keep it ringing long enough and you'll hear a nearly century-old voice explaining exactly how we volunteered for sedation and why today's glow makes antidepressants look like chamomile tea. History class drilled Orwell's boot stamping on a human face, but Aldous Huxley whispered a scarier scenario. No boot needed if the crowd is too blissed out to notice chains. In Brave New World, the regime doesn't burn books. Citizens simply never pick them up. Too busy popping Soma, swiping in vitro dates, and binging feel-good entertainment. Fast forward. Swap Soma for caramel-colored caffeine, HD porn, or the infinite scroll that tucks you in at 2 a.m. Same spell, new packaging. You consent, tap accept all, and the algorithm purrs, "Good boy." No dictator kicks down the door. You invite him in, hand him your schedule, and beg for another dopamine cookie. That's Huxley's alarm clock. A siren built from treats, not threats, warning that comfort weaponized becomes control. Hear it, and you realize the real battlefield is your appetite, not city streets. So who cashes in each time your craving button is pressed 150 times a day? Listen. The register is already ringing. Behind every ping on your phone is a silent auction. Brands, influencers, even political campaigns, anyone with a credit card, bid in real time for a slice of the neural lottery machine between your ears. They don't need to own you forever. They just need the next 15 seconds, enough for a micro hit of dopamine. Variable rewards. Maybe the message is dull. Maybe it's a meme so perfect it detonates laughter. Keep the midbrain pulling the lever. Numbers are brutal. The average person checks their phone about 150 times a day, meaning 150 voluntary relapses, 150 micro sales of agency for the thrill of what's next. Try a thought experiment. Picture a dollar coin glued to the back of your phone. Every time your thumb unlocks the screen, the coin drops into a stranger's pocket. How long before you duct tape the thing shut? Money is visible value. Attention is invisible. So we spend it like fools. But is that spending love, or addiction dressed up as love? Here's the litmus test Huxley never spelled out, but your future self desperately needs. First, energy audit. After you close the app, finish the drink, or leave the gym mirror, do you feel wider awake or quietly depleted? Love is a power bank. Addiction is a leech dressed in silk. Second, freedom audit. Could you skip the thing for 7 days with zero negotiation? If the thought sparks panic bargaining, well, maybe just one episode. Congratulations, the leash is showing. Third, trajectory check. Real love compounds. Each rep, riff, or page red stacks into skills and stories. Addiction loops you back to the start screen, XP erased. Gym time that builds strength is love. Gym time that ends in 2 hours of body dysmorphia doom scroll is addiction wearing gym shorts. The cruel part, both feel identical in the moment because dopamine doesn't care about your destiny. You have to? Keep these 3 meters, energy, freedom, trajectory, on your mental HUD because the smallest unchecked craving is about to recruit an army of micro habits. Forget the big cinematic vices. The real puppet strings are gossamer, so thin you call them normal. You wake up, thumb the phone before your eyes even focus. 10 seconds, maybe 20. That tiny dopamine spark sets your craving thermostat for the day. Next stop, double espresso, YouTube humming in the background, Slack open just in case. Each 2-minute ritual looks harmless, but together they stitch a straitjacket out of silk. Micro-addictions don't hijack you with a loud, "Do it!" They whisper, "Keep the momentum." By noon, you've surrendered an hour of focus, not in one dramatic binge, but in 1,000 friction-free nibbles. Notice the pattern. Every micro-hit trades a sliver of agency for the comfort of autopilot. They don't just waste time, they train your brain to associate avoidance with reward. Track a single day and label every act of harmless affection. The tab you open reflexively, the snack you grab mid-sentence. Map those invisible chains, because the moment you see the links, you can start heating the metal. Freedom isn't a mood you manifest, it's a booby-trapped hallway you build for your own bad habits. Start by adding weight to the easy door. Delete every color from your phone and watch the candy store glow. Die. Schedule a dumb phone weekend so dopamine has to walk, not sprint, to reach you. Set a caffeine sunset so energy tomorrow isn't mortgaged to comfort tonight. Next, weaponize embarrassment. Post a goal. Pledge $50 to a cause you hate and let friends collect if you relapse. Suddenly, the cookie isn't just sugar, it's an invoice. Finally, step into the forge. Picture each impulse as raw metal, heat it with honesty. I'm scrolling because I'm lonely. Hammer it with friction. I must type a 20-digit password to open Instagram. And cool it in purpose. The goal isn't monk-level asceticism. It's to make the path of least resistance point toward the life you actually want. Once the cage door fights back, you're ready to transform the chains themselves into tools that pull you upward. Delete the cheap thrill and you create a vacuum. Nature hates vacuums, so fill it with loves that punch back. Anti-fragile loves are activities that reward you only after you've bled a little. Jiu-jitsu mat burns. C major scales that make your wrists ache. The bug that won't compile until 3 a.m. Each failure is interest paid into a compound account of skill. That's earned dopamine. Slow, expensive, impossible to binge. Compare it with the free stuff, likes, loot boxes, sugar, dopamine handed out like carnival tickets that tear the moment you grab them. Build a visible scoreboard, reps logged, songs mastered, pull-ups cleared. Numbers don't lie, they clarify. After a week, the chart tells you whether you're ascending or orbiting. Want an extra boost? Make the ladder social. Roll with tougher fighters. Push code to GitHub where strangers can roast it. The more resistance you invite, the sharper you get. Eventually, even your cravings learn to crave the climb. Here's the brutal punchline. Freedom isn't the absence of chains. It's choosing chains that pull you forward instead of dragging you under. Biology already stamped a craving circuit in your skull. It will latch on to something, nicotine, Netflix, or night classes in Python. So stop fantasizing about perfect self-control and start curating your addictions. Open your journal tonight and list the habits that leave you smaller than they found you. Put a dollar value, a time cost, a soul cost next to each. Then draft their replacements. Pursuits that demand skill, sweat, and skin in the game. Make the friction obvious. Guitar on the couch, phone in the drawer. Pull-up bar in the doorway, cookies on the top shelf. Tell a friend, set a penalty, burn the escape routes. Every sunrise, you either reinforce the cage or reforge the metal into tools. Tomorrow's dopamine will arrive on schedule. Decide in advance whether it pays you interest or charges you rent. choose your shackles, because refusing to choose is just choosing default slavery.